Hey out there, thanks for tuning in. So we're in December, as if I had to tell you that. What does December mean? December means we're going to be getting into January, which means New Year's resolutions. I want to talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions and how it could apply to you getting started in real estate. Maybe you never flipped a house. Maybe you just got the itch now. I saw one of Harry's videos. I think I want to get into that. He says how good it is. Well, hey, hang on. But wait, I'm going to give you a couple suggestions. I got 12 steps. 12 steps. This is going to be step 1. Make more calls. So I was watching this guy on YouTube today, and I listened to him quite a bit. It's not someone that I necessarily want to hang out with, but he does have some tidbits in there that are good. One of the things is, he's like a billionaire, and he's got thousands of units. Whether or not he really does, I don't know, but I think he does. And it's kind of hard to relate to someone at that level. I've said that in previous videos, that thinking about 0 houses or rental units, and then watching this guy that has thousands of units and $1 billion in the bank, it's hard to relate to. You can't even think about scaling to that amount when you don't have anything. So I'm thinking, maybe if I made a video, Harry, with, let's say, I don't know, 8 houses, maybe that's more attainable. Maybe somebody out there that's thinking about getting into real estate says, I think I might be able to get to 8. I don't know about 1,000 or 5,000, but I could probably get to 8. Let me see what he has to say. And that's why I'm here. Make more calls. What does that mean? If you're like me, I almost forgot how difficult it was to make that first call to a realtor or to a seller. I don't know what to say. They're going to think I'm stupid. Is there a possibility they're going to yell at me? That never happened. I made it out to be such a big deal. Like the phone weighed 100 pounds. I'm not calling. First time was, I think I dialed the number and I was like, I'll put it down. Let me think about this in my head first. An hour later, possibly, I called. It was nowhere as bad as I made it out to be. But if you're in that position, I'm here to tell you how to get started. You probably heard this saying before. Just do it. Sounds like it's easy. I know it's not. Make that phone call. Find a ad on Zillow that's maybe promising. Call up. Ask whatever questions you want. See how they respond. But that's my first suggestion to you for your New Year's resolution. Make more calls, get more familiar, it becomes easier, then it becomes second nature, and then I'd like to give you a little personal story. On that house that I missed out on today because it was already sold the first day out on the market, I said, you know what, while I'm here, let me call the listing agent that's on here, his cell phone number. Matthew? Hi, it's Harry. Hey, I want to ask you a couple questions about ABC. He said, hey, no problem. I said, how did it sell so quick? He said, well, actually, it was on the market for like 6 months, but it's a short sale. So the bank only deals with one offer at a time. So, Harry, if you called on it, I probably told you it was already accepted months ago. I said, with my memory, that's what probably happened. I probably already called on this house. Matthew and I talked a little bit. He took my number. I took his number. I told him if he has any other listings that are short sales, call me up. I'm giving you an example because if this was years ago when I was first getting into business, I wouldn't have called Matthew. I wouldn't have been at so much ease with this guy. But then now I realize that he's just a realtor. He's trying to sell a listing, and I'm a nice guy. Wasn't that hard? So if you're having difficulty picking up the phone, just do it. Just do it. The first one might be difficult. The second one becomes easier. By the 1,000th phone call, you're fine. So I left you guys hanging a little bit with this. The number one secret to making it big, from my personal experience, as well as I think if you asked anybody, they would agree. The number one secret, you got a pen and pencil? Here it goes. Be likable. I never realized how important that was. When I mean be likable, I mean that means you have to listen more than you talk. You have to be genuine. You have to be real. You have to go at things like they're win-win situations at all times. Maybe even share a story with somebody. I'm bringing this up because you guys are going to start working on making phone calls. And if you're likable, People are going to want to do business with you. So this is going to be 12 steps. So 12 New Year's resolutions before we get to January 1st. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to tell you how important and why it's important that you should start working on making phone calls and calling realtors, calling sellers, getting more familiar. Baby steps lead to running. I made that up myself. I probably heard it somewhere, but I'm going to take credit. When you do the calling and you get familiar with it and you start talking to realtors, sellers, attorneys, lenders, banks, hard money lenders, all these different people that are in the field, it's all a numbers game. You're going to get exposure and you're going to start making contacts. Some people you're going to hit it off with, some people you aren't. After all these years of doing business, I think it all boils down to this. People want to do business with people they like. And the only way you can get there is if you start making those phone calls. Till tomorrow.